All right, there we are. We're in. All right, so let me see how it do this, folks. I think I have to tweet out this link. Not the best at this yoke here. Okay, still up all that. All right, there we are. We've got some people joining us now. So here, let me retweet this link, folks, and then I'll be ready to go. All right, here we go. uh, join me live now. All right. Oh, Christ. Hope you're all well, folks. And I'm not the best at these live streams. I'm also absolutely knackered. Been a rough 2 weeks for me. Those of you who know what's going on. So apologies for not being as frequent as I usually am. But folks, let's just start to talk about which I covered in my own podcast earlier today. Um, One of the things I talked about was the Richard Arnold stuff and talked about the latest on transfer rumors. So just to cover that, what I have, what's it say here? Can you elaborate on your info regarding Anthony from the podcast? What's your percentage chance that happens? Right. So, folks, what I'm going to do here is I'll update you on exactly what I know and don't know. Um, there's some things on transfers which we'll discuss, but also I want to discuss as well some of the things that Manchester United, what their sporting agenda is, not just sporting agenda, fan agenda, and also what their intention is with the stadium and everything else going forward. So to give you a summary on what's going on with Anthony and stuff, I'm going to have to read this, so just give me a second. So. The latest with Anthony is so the reporting on Anthony is a bit exaggerated. United don't dispute they're interested. Still no firm talks with Ajax yet. Not 100% sure why and why not. Also, with regards to Lisandro Martinez, no change in that situation either. United are having exploratory talks with his agent. Ericsson, the ball is in Christian Eriksen's court. United have made what they believe to be a very good offer. And of course, they're hoping that he accepts it. With De Jong, willing buyer, willing seller. It's just a matter of meeting the price. I know this is not this is not or sharing information, folks, but I want to mention a couple of things because I'll elaborate on some of the stuff. We get asked ad nauseum about updates. I mean, my direct messages are literally filled with, I'm talking maybe 60, 70 people a day asking us what's going on. So when you get a lot of updates, it seems like there it's just a rearrangement of words saying the same thing. A lot of times it's because of this. It's because people are constantly asking for information. And you know, the transfer rumors are fluid, so they're constantly changing. Um, and when someone puts out information that's not identical to someone else's, it's not them saying that this is wrong or this person is wrong. You have to understand that there's a lot of different briefings going on by people involved in these transfer rumors, and they're briefing from their own perspective and what they want you to believe and what they want you to put out there. Um, this is not we're not covering war crimes here. We're covering football transfers, right? So maybe some people don't triple and quadruple source, right? But you have to also understand that the content that we put out is not behind a paywall, folks. So please be a bit respectful. It's not so much to me, but the other people whenever you're abusing them, because they're not giving you the news you want to hear. So look, what with regards to Anthony, United are obviously confident that the boy wants to go there. Same with De Jong. As I said before, United's highly unlikely that United will sign a central striker this summer. Truthfully, I'm not that bothered about that. I think that could probably wait for another year. Uh, I would be surprised, very surprised, that United will start the season or start pre-season without at least De Jong. Because what we do know is obviously United have a valuation of De Jong, What I don't understand is why United can't go about the rest of the business saying, okay, we'll allocate, I don't know, toxic 70 million for De Jong and we'll spend the rest on other players. They have to be able to work on more than one deal at once, and I want to see that happen. With regards to Lisandro Martinez, he's a left-footed centre back. United have wanted a left-footed centre back since Solskjaer 2, 3 years ago. So doesn't surprise me. Samuel Luckhurst came out and said that United need to sell some centre backs to buy. Should have already been done. There's no reason why we're sitting here with a week to go with the start of the season. It's not United's job to get offers for players. That's the players' agent's job. They need to go get those offers for players. To me, it's unbelievable that we don't have anyone out that needed to be sold or anyone in. I'm patient to a point, but I can't find any reason other than financial why United would delay these transfers. If United get rid of Dean Henderson and bring in Daniel Bachmann, I would say that's a weaker squad. I don't believe Daniel Bachmann's better than Dean Henderson. When you need to sell the buy, I don't understand why you're going to loan the guy out again. Surely you sell him, right? And you don't loan him out until his contract expires. Obviously, they're trying to sell some other players. I tweeted a thing out last week where I said the morale amongst United staff and players was low, which is absolutely commensurate with my discussions with people on the inside of the football club. So what I don't like is them saying, well, the mood's lifted because of Eric Ten Hag. Eric Ten Hag, there's a difference between pleasure and happiness. Eric Ten Hag comes in and to rely on him to lift the mood is gimmicky. You lift the mood from implementing strict control parameters and making sure your players are incentivized in the right way. So United, I think, will do De Jong. Now, please, guys, this is an opinion based on what I've been told. I think they'll do De Jong before, but I think that'll be the signing that Ten Hag will get. I would be amazed, absolutely amazed at this point if United didn't sign De Jong. And I think what United are trying to do, and one of the reasons why with Nunez they didn't spend the 80 plus million on Nunez is, and some of this was laid bare with the Richard Arnold interview, that United just don't have that money to spend on an 80 million pound striker. They would have if that was the only thing they needed to do, but they don't right now, and they're trying to stretch that across multiple different positions. I haven't heard anything regarding Ronaldo being unhappy and wanting to leave, so I don't know anything about that. But they are confident, somewhat confident on Anthony. They are extremely confident on De Jong. Those De Jong to me at this point would be a bigger surprise if he didn't sign than if he did, and I genuinely don't believe they'll have a problem getting Anthony. I want to also mention what United's directives are as a football club. And what they intend to do. This is a bit long, but listen to this because this is what they see that needs rectified imminently. So this covers a number of different topics. I'm reading this obviously. So uh, analysis on last season. Last season fell below the required standard. United are driving forward a clear strategy to address past failures and improve performance. Significant changes to modernize the club structure, refresh the culture, increase energy, and focus on success. Looking forward to a fresh start under Ten Hag. United will be back. United will back him with investments to strengthen the squad. Strengthening our football structure under the leadership of John Murda, supported by strategic hires such as Andy Boyle and Dominic Jordan. Delivering on commitment to improve fan engagement via Fans Advisory Board and multiple other fan initiatives. Progress continues towards fan share scheme. Okay. Master planners appointed at OT for OT in Carrington. First concrete steps towards investment to modernize facilities for the fans, players, and staff. With regards to transfer window, John Murda and team working around the clock to a clear plan. Changes to strengthen scouting, recruitment, data science, and delivery phase. Preparing ground for deals and confident they will start to happen. There's still only a week into a 12-week window, so United are relaxed. Significant funds available for investment into the squad. Important to be financially disciplined to make the best use of those funds. Invested over 1 billion in players since 2013. Similar to state-backed Manchester City FC, funds have always been available. Focus now on spending more effectively. With regards to the debt and dividends, debt and dividends don't affect the ability to invest. Over 1 billion spent since 2013. Running Man United profitably, including modest return on investment, supports long-term health and stability of club. Dividends are small relative to revenues and lower than average paid by most companies, 1.1% average yield versus 3.9% for FTSE 100. Dividends not just to the Glazers, but also to pension funds and thousands of small investors and fans. Debts are low cost and long term. Annual financing costs circa 3.75% of revenues. Many clubs have larger debts representing bigger share of revenues and higher cost. Ownership model. Proud to have a self-sustaining model rather than a dependence on a benefactor. Reliance on investment by owners is not a sustainable model for football clubs. Chelsea ownership crisis highlighted the risks. Man United, the most financially transparent club in football due to the NYSE, SEC, New York Stock Exchange, and the SEC regulations. Fan engagement. Working hard with must to make fans' share scheme a reality and remain committed. Hugely committed, hugely complicated piece of work because of legal and regulatory complexity. United have delivered on a range of other fan initiatives in the past year, including creation of the Fans Advisory Board, 11th consecutive year of the flat season ticket prices, expansion of the atmosphere section of Stretford End in partnership with TRA, of course, expansion of junior ticket discounts to the whole stadium, national leadership in trialing barrier seating and safe standing, reform of cup ticket policies to increase choice and flexibility, making progress on their commitment to modernise facilities for fans, players, and staff. Master planners being appointed for OT in Carrington. So that's quite a comprehensive analysis, summary, and statement of intent of the football club and what they want to do. I'd like to see some deadlines being implemented on that. Nonetheless, when it comes to what Richard Arnold did, folks, the other day, my comments on it are as follows. One, if United were much more transparent in doing interviews, this wouldn't happen. Two, it's deeply unethical, right? So I don't understand. You shouldn't be recording anyone without their permission. Three, it does nothing but set back the attempt to have trust between the fans and the executives of a football club. But Richard Arnold has had his private emails plastered all over Twitter for months, and he knows this. After the first or second email, the rest are performative. They're basically public statements, right? If he genuinely went to that meeting and didn't expect that, I'm giving him too much credit. I can also tell you the reaction to that by some people, some past and present United employees, has not been great. They dispute some of the findings. And one particular individual that you work it out by yourself was extremely hurt by what was said in there because they contest the contents of that. So Ed Woodward met with fans when he first came in too. He made an effort to do all the things Richard Arnold's doing. I met with Ed Woodward 2014 when United were here with Van Gaal, and genuinely his heart was in the right place. You can criticize how he executed, you can criticize a lot of things that he did, but he started out with this enthusiasm too. So, I give Richard credit that he did this, that he met with people, and he's made the effort. And look, we all wish him nothing but success. But I've got a couple of questions. If you burn through $1 billion in cash, someone should have been sacked. But yet, Ed Woodward and Richard Arnold were the two highest compensated individuals in their position in all of football. Now, something doesn't add up here. That's not commensurate with failure. So the Glazers clearly didn't see them as a failure. Ed Woodward resigned. Now, Ed Woodward will tell you he resigned as a result of the Super League. So that means either Richard Arnold and Ed Woodward knew nothing about it, right? In which case the Glazers done this completely above their head, in which case tells you all you need to know about their intention and about their they've been at the club 22 well, since 2005, 17 years. These really tough guys, right? That are not afraid of people, just afraid of doing interviews, just afraid of actually sitting down with United fans and having a discussion with them, just afraid for their safety when they come to the Old Trafford, right? And these are people that when you talk about benefactors, I don't believe they become a benevolent benefactor to Manchester United and all of a sudden say, here, 10 million separates United and De Jong. Could they sacrifice a dividend just once to prioritise football and sending footballers for a football club? And by the way, if United find themselves in a position where they no longer have the resources to compete, why is Richard Arnold there? He's second most senior employee at the football club. Are we to believe that he had no role in any of the decisions that were made? Remember, Ralph Rangnick was sacked for one reason and one reason only. Not because of what he said internally. United only care that you heard it, not that they heard it. Everything United are doing, they've been told to do for years. 2013. Now you have Ralph Rangnick, so one of two things happened. If Ralph Rangnick was a terrible coach, right, just a disaster, then that falls on John Murda. You heard him. So the interim coach brought in to replace the other interim coach because you fired the other coach wasn't very good. Okay, so what is his strength? His strength is building football clubs. When he tells you how to do it, what you do, you sack them because it wasn't what you wanted to hear, right? This is what concerns me. The acrasia that United have when it comes to doing the right thing, they almost can't resist doing the wrong thing. So, going to be really interesting to see how this summer goes. United cannot roll out 4 or 5 minis and tell you they're Ferraris. Okay, and clearly United are not buying their way back to the top. They're going to have to operate as a football club. And when I hear about all these changes being made, as much as I want to give United credit, I feel a lot of them are the result of having no other option. Now you have to behave like a football club because the resources aren't there to do anything else. So United are defined by their rivals, they're defined by what Liverpool do, they define what City do. That's just a fact of life. So they cannot make a mess of this summer because, as we saw in those videos, they're on a very dangerous precipice financially. And another season without Champions League would result in that Adidas punishment and everything else. Either they get it right this summer, or I don't think they ever get it right. And by the way, this football club and its reputation and its well-being is more important than Richard Arnold staying in a job, the Glazers running this football club, or anyone else. They must also pay a price for failure, which they've never done. So we'll see what happens. But regards to signings, folks, my own opinion, just my own opinion, I think De Jong will get done quickly. When I say quickly, I think they'll do everything they can to make that deal happen before the start of the preseason. And I think Eriksen is a possibility before that too. So, you know, I spoke to people involved with the Anthony deal last week, and they were optimistic. Usually they're quite pessimistic when it comes to fueling speculation because they don't want to create an expectation on players going to be signed, and then of course inevitably get the criticism when they don't. So, so I'm hearing positive signs about that. So, I think if you need to get 4 signings this summer, it's not a bad summer. I don't think they're going to close the gap on City or Liverpool this summer, no matter what they do. But they have to progress, and top 4 has to be a bare minimum. So we'll see what happens there, folks. Thanks to all of you for all your downloads, likes, retweets, support, and everything. Folks, the last few weeks have been awful for me. Some of you close to me know what's going on with my child. It's been a really tough time. Thanks to all of you for all your love and support. Much appreciated. Hopefully, my little fella gets good news this week. It's not been easy. But thanks to all of you folks. Don't forget, on my BTP Twitter page, there is links to shirts. 100% of proceeds go towards mental health. Lots of new stuff coming on BTP this summer. Lots of interviews, lots of cross collaboration with other podcasts and other big United commentators. Lots of interviews. Got a couple of big ones lined up. I'm not allowed to tell you yet, but they're coming soon. And we're going to have lots of giveaways over the summer and into next season with a lot of BTP stuff. So, folks, thank you so much for all your support. Genuinely means the world to me. I hope you're all doing well. Your mental health is good. Your physical health is good. I hope we're all having a good summer. I know it's a rough time for everyone right now. You know, we're all struggling with bills, debt, you know, our jobs, and you know, inflation's killing us all. But you're all amazing. You're all incredible people, and we'll get through this together. Thanks for all your love and support, folks, and thanks for all your follows and everything else. You take it easy.